when possessions compete with God. In a way that anything that replaces Christ becomes what? An idol. Anything that replaces Christ is an idol. And the main message here, as I continue to share with you, anything that takes the place of Christ in our hearts becomes an idol, even if it is something good, something respectable, and something valuable. It becomes an idol if it takes the place of Jesus Christ. Sometimes we take things easy and for granted. Actually, we have so many idols in our lives. Tuna miungu mingi sana kwa maisha yetu. Vitu vizuri tu vya kupendeza, hata watu wazuri wamekuwa miungu, wamechukua nafasi ya Yesu Kristo. Ndio sababu hauwezi kutii Bwana. You cannot obey when you have an idol in the place of God. You cannot. The question that matters most is going to come in this verse. Mark chapter 10, I've loved this text. I've preached from this verse many times, but I'm also preaching it today. Mark chapter 10 introduces a young man who had many things going on for him. He was a rich young ruler. He was several things. Number one, he was young, a youth. Young people are here. I'm talking to you now. There's a time I preach this sermon for the young people. It's different. He's actually a youth. In his 20s or going towards 30s, maybe having done his law. He has gone to school of the law school and he's practicing law. And things are moving well. A lawyer. He was a wealthy young man. He got wealth. Lawyers have a way of becoming wealthy. Maybe he sorted one of the most expensive cases in the city or in the government. And suddenly the young man got a big check from the government and his things were moving good. This young man was morally upright. He never played around with women. He was a faithful young man. Everything, he was a moral young man. He was religious. I didn't say spiritual. He was what? There's a difference between being spiritual and what? Religious. He was a religious young man. He was a respectful young man. In other words, he was good and respectful to people. Elders loved this young man. The elderly people. Women liked this young man. Young ladies were wishing they get married to this young man. Children liked this man. His car, if there was cars, it was a good limousine somewhere out there. Doing great in life. Young, doing great. It reminds me of one pastor. I was once in Botswana. And this is a young pastor, actually my age mate. He had 2 cars. Young from college. A Botswana young man had 2 cars. He had a BMW. Wow. And a Nissan Sentra. 2 cars for what? He's a rich young preacher. Leave alone being young and having the good cars. This guy was handsome. And when you stood, every girl, when you go to church, was talking about that young pastor. So some of us from Kenya, ugly and bad-looking boys. We were pastors and we looked at him. He had all the charisma, all the way. When he sings, the voice was amazing. And when he was talking, everyone, even myself, I like that guy. He was just a wonderful guy. And I made him my friend. He was my friend. Prosperous. As I'm speaking, he's not a pastor. Something happened the way. He's a farmer right now. He's my friend, by the way. I don't want to say his name. He's my friend. How things went. At some point, do I say this? I should not. Maybe not. Let me not say that. It's me and him, all right? The young man came to Jesus, such a wealthy, good-looking young man, serious about life. By the way, another thing about the young man, he was not a joker. You know some men who are jokers? Jamaa kwa sawa lakini ni joker. Kiongea na wasichana kwa ule wachana na yeye ni joker. They don't take you serious. But this young man was a serious young man. When you look at him, he's serious about life. He has purpose of life. He knows what he's doing. He has a direction in life. So he's not a young man who was just there. He was a good young man. I want to tell you something, church, that you can be so good, looking everything good in the church, but still have a problem. That's what he's telling us, that what really makes us become children of God. What qualifies us to go to heaven? What really is this that we are looking for? There's no one in the church is a model for heaven. The only one is who? Jesus Christ. None of us, you can say, that's the man. That is the woman in the church. Because this young man was exceptional. Exceptionally good. Kijana aliyekuwa na tabia mzuri, anapendeza, kila kitu kwa kimuona tu hivi unasema huyu ni wa mbingu. But I want you to understand something. Mark chapter 10, verse 17 says, there came one running and kneeled to him, Jesus, and asked him, good teacher. In fact, it says that good teacher, good master, what shall I do that I may inherit eternal life? What must I do to inherit eternal life? By the way, this is a beautiful and wonderful